Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Good morning, and welcome back to another Good Morning Grief Devotion. It's your boy, Pastor Corey Allen Duncan Sr. Grateful, thankful for this day, for this time, for this wonderful opportunity that the Lord has afforded us to gather together in this virtual space and place to start our day off in the power and in the presence of the Lord. This is the Good Morning Grief Devotion. This is the daily grief devotion that is strategically designed to help you to navigate through your grief one day at a time. What is grief? I'm so glad you asked. Grief, my brothers and my sisters, it is the natural, normal, and necessary response to loss, change, and transition that results in the expressions of feelings and emotions. That grief is what you feel on the inside. Mourning is how you reveal it on the outside. Therefore, we don't suppress it, but we express it. We don't ignore it, but we explore. We don't conceal it, but we reveal it. We don't lock it up, we let it out. That's why we shout good morning, because morning is a good thing. And I'm so glad that you're here with us as we get to prepare to lead you into another Good Morning Grief devotion. Today, my brothers and sisters, is day 179. This message is right on time. We're going to talk about when grief feels like fear. When grief feels like fear. Let's talk about it, y'all. Grief isn't just sadness. Sometimes it feels like fear. Fear of the future without them, fear of your own mortality, fear that something else will fall apart, that someone else you love might be taking too. When you navigate through your grief journey, there are so many people who have expressed this sentiment that there is this fear that comes upon them. Fear that they will be next, or somebody else will be next, or who's going to be next, right? Fear that facing the future without them, right? How do I go on with my life without you in my life? Not knowing how they're going to be able to navigate their days and the months and the years to come without this person who's been so significant for so long by your side, right? Fear of your own mortality, because death awakens this awareness of life. Now you begin to think about your own mortality. Grief shatters the illusion that life is predictable. It leaves you feeling vulnerable, exposed, and anxious in ways you never expected. Suddenly, ordinary things feel threatening. Normal moments feel fragile. Yeah, I'm telling you that grief, it heightens this awareness. Normal things feel threatening, right? Somebody just whatever it is. It's normal, but it feels threatening. And um hold on. Normal moments, they feel so very fragile. This is the part of grief that no one talks about. The part where mourning turns into anxiety. How many of y'all have expressed that you're going through this loss change, this transition, you dealing with this mourning, but now this mourning turns into anxiety because there's this constant state of fear, fear of the future, fear of your own mortality, fear of normal things that now seem like it's heightened, right? If you lose a child, now the children that remain, you don't want them to do nothing. Don't go nowhere. Don't ride no car. You can't go swimming. You can't do that because you have this anxiety. Somebody leaves the house. Somebody goes on a trip. It's just normal things that sends your anxiety through the roof because now you have this anxiety, you have this fear, this awareness that you are constantly living with that is before you. The what ifs, the worst case scenarios, the tightening in your chest that whispers, if it happened once, it can happen again. The what ifs. Now you don't want your child to go out nowhere because, man, what if something happens to him? The same thing happened to him. Don't let somebody die in a car accident. Now you don't want to ride in the car. You don't want them riding the car with nobody else. It's all of these what ifs, right? I don't want you to go out. I don't want you to do this. I don't want you to do that because this anxiety now sets in. This fear takes place. This fear settles in because of what you've gone through and what you experience, right? And so many people deal with this. Some people won't go back to the hospital. Nope, because they went in for this simple procedure and they never made it out. So you have this fear, this anxiety of even going to the hospital. and you'll stay at home and be sick versus trying to go into the hospital or going to deal with that because you have this fear, you have this anxiety, right? It happens. But here's the truth, y'all. Fear is a normal companion in grief, but it doesn't have to be your guide. It's normal, right? But it doesn't have to be your guide. It doesn't have to rule you. It doesn't have to master you. It doesn't have to hover over you. It is a normal companion in grief, but it doesn't have to be your guide. God knows how fragile you feel. He knows how shaken your sense of safety has become. He promises this, that when you are afraid, I will be with you. Not always to erase the fear, but to hold you steady in it. This is another part of the grief journey that we got to deal with, because you talk about the loss, the change, the transition, but there are things that come along with that, right? This fear, this anxiety, and this is why it's so good that you have platforms like this that brings about awareness, but that you also seek additional help, right? I always tell you, build your team, therapist, counselor, coach, whatever the case may be. Build your team. Just say, yo, I have this anxiety, I have this fear. Can you help me to navigate through this? Help me to break this down. Help me to deal with this. I don't want to ride in a car anymore. Um, I don't want to go to the hospitals. I don't want to go out. I just stay in the house. I have this fear. I have this anxiety. I have this fear that I'm facing that I don't know what to deal with. And it's crippling and it's debilitating. And I need some help and I need to deal with it because it is keeping me imprisoned. Right. I don't want to be like this. This is not how I want things to go. This is why the grief journey is so important. Right. This is why it is so very important, because there's different elements that we now face that we have to deal with, right? That you need help navigating through, because it's real. God knows how fragile you are. He knows how shaken your sense of safety has become. He promises this, that when you are afraid, come on, I'm going to be with you. Not always to erase the fear, but to hold you steady within it. Little by little, peace begins to slip back in. Not because everything is guaranteed to be safe, but because you're held by the one who never leaves, never fails, and never lets go. Here's your point of application. If fear has crept in with your grief, pause today and whisper this prayer: God, I am afraid. Remind me that you are bigger than my fears, nearer than my fear suggests. Then take one calming step: deep breathing, journaling, a walk, or simply sitting quietly in God's presence. Let fear visit, but don't let it rule. Today, my brothers and sisters, is day 179. I told you this message is going to be right on time when grief feels like fear. Come on, hope this lesson was a blessing to each and every one of you. Hope you are able to take it and internalize it. Look at Shantae Martin with us today. Patrick, what in the sandbox, Play-Doh, housekeeping blocks, and construction paper is going down there? Oh man, just a little grief devotion. Anxiety, I thought was having a heart attack. Anxiety, I thought I was having a heart attack. Yeah, those anxiety attacks, those panic attacks, I haven't had one, but I know people who have. I've seen a couple, and they say it's no joke, right? Anxiety. Hey, Natasha Davis. Good morning, y'all. And yep, the anxiety definitely intensifies. It intensifies, right? Because there's so much, the car and the grocery store. Yes, there's so much. And so these are the different elements of grief that we got to deal with, right? These are the things that compound. It's not just the loss of the person, but now it's everything that comes along with that. Sometimes it's fear. Sometimes, it's the anxiety, and it's getting a clear understanding and awareness of, yeah, it's there, right? And it may not be going nowhere, but now we know We're equipped. We have the tools, the tips, the techniques, the takeaways of how I deal with this. Because you don't want anything holding you hostage. You don't want anything keeping you from living your best life. You don't want anything keeping you from the fullness of what God has for you. So it's learning how to navigate that fear, navigate that anxiety, your own mortality, not, keep it holding your children hostage because you're afraid you're gonna lose another one or not, whatever it is, right? You gotta work through it. You have to work through it. Build your team, face it so you can fix it, right? Because you don't want anything keeping you from maximizing the life that God has called you to live. So I appreciate y'all. Love y'all with the love of the Lord. Thank y'all so very much for joining us on today. Hope and pray that you all have a sensational Saturday. And I look forward to seeing y'all again tomorrow, same time, same place, for another Good Morning Grief Devotion. Good morning.